Hello, beautiful people. It has been some time, actually. So I've how is everybody's full moon and 8-8 portal and Mercury retrograde and oh man, talk about a week of initiation. So I'd love to know how everybody is and how this was for you. It was quite the initiation for me and it was amazing. Really, really was. It was so lovely on so many different levels. Um, but I took a lot of my energy and put it there, and it was amazing to be. So now coming in, and this one's fun because there's a lot coming in, and so this will be the last and final masculine initiation video. Numero 20. There's the energy, and it's an amazing honor. So really, really is. When I set out to do the masculine initiation series, it was all about the masculine energy coming into form, especially to do with the dance between two, so dance between counterparts, but also in general in the physical as it continues to move, because you're a masculine, your energy is on a feminine planet. So it's like that was my big question. I was just like, how does this all work? How does this continue in? What does it need to go for? The trials that need to happen. Obviously, there's more than just 20 videos. And obviously, I'm not the absolute energy authority on it. But undertaking that and accepting it from source and divine in my old soul and then showing up, it was amazing to watch it kind of unfold through me and in me. And now it's coming to a close, and this is the last video. And so it's when I first realized it was going to be 20 and then it was coming to an end, I got kind of like bittersweet. But now it's it's really fun. It's like a wake, it's a party. So, and this is all the iconography. So this is beautiful, beautiful energy. Really, really is. And it involves the feminine really, really strongly, unknowingly. That's the fun part. So, with that, we'll jump right in and open the door. So the visual and the vision that came into me a couple of nights ago was, of course, lightning, because I'm full of lightning. A lightning bolt striking lava as it was flowing down a hillside, and then through that, the body was almost formed, and then the breath was exhaled from the masculine body as it was reshaped, reformed, and coming into the physical once more. And it felt really amazing to feel that built in and also of the land. So when when the earthquake happened, the 8-8 earthquake 2 weeks ago or whatever, and it like surged through my system to feel it. It was really an exciting moment for me, because it was the first time that my masculine system could feel the earth. Because I have met so many embodied women that they know when something's happening on the earth and they can feel it as it runs through their body. And so, and I just didn't. And then I could feel it run through my body. And then I could also feel how the sun felt in my body and the build up to the solar flares. And it was like touching into those and then building it into the body because it's actually coming into form in the physical, which put to rest all the, um, in some ways, emotional intelligence questions, I guess you can say. So anything to do with the emotions that was a question mark or coming back into that. In some ways, it was actually actually touching the ground and like allowing it to surge through your body and be like, I know what's going on. And so it was that missing piece. So it was feeling all this energy surge through the body. And I'm just like, there it is. It's finally here. And I was curious because you have like when we did the unbolting the armor, and it was like the dropping of the big chest plate, and especially the mask. Like that was so big with the masculine energy because it felt like it was bolted into the temples, and it was the screw joints back, and it was mushed, and I'm just like, whoa, that's a lot of freaking energy. But unbolting it was very vulnerable because in some ways it was like, oh, but then you allowed it to run through your body, and just like that felt better. And then also feeling the bolt and the tightness that was stretched around, well, just looking at my arms, like where it is right now, like that iconography, very mummy like, right? So there's Osiris again. So very mummy like, very kind of in the box, confined. And that's how the energetic body felt to my system. And the physical workhorse of pushing the energy felt so strong. It's also not mirrored into the physical energy anymore. Like you can feel it, just like you have less to work with as you work into the physical. So looking at all this and feeling it and the unraveling of the bandages, Osiris again, I love that. And then feeling all that was retrieved. What was interesting is that it was almost like walking into that lake of fire to be reformed. So you regained so much, you let so much go. And then it was like walking into that lava pit to completely let go. And so this is an incredibly energetic vision. So like you can feel the energetics of it and then feeling how that is. Okay, perfect. Now, how does this relate in a practical sense? What are you feeling in these moments? It's actually feeling all that you've gotten and all you've gotten back, and then realizing that everything that you've regained and seeing how you reach out and touch the world, like your physical masculine presence within the world, moving into the world, your day-to-day life, you're moving as you talk, as you be, as your presence, right? Feeling all that and how much you've regained and how much you've unraveled of the old energetic templates, right? And the compromises and how we've built up the life into the physical, the martyr role, it's very present within the masculine energy, right? And the service role, right? The be, just let me be of service. Let me be of use, right? I just want to be of use, right? Give me a purpose. Let me be of use. The worst thing you can do is just let me be useless. So they're two sides of the same coin because your presence is more valued than what you're used for. It's important. So feeling all this is like you can feel like the more you continue, the more you embody, the more that you have the lack of energy to continue. So in some ways, it's like walking into the lake of lava. Like in some ways, it's walking into the mother's purification pool. We'll use that word, right? And it's completely just allowing all of it to be burned, melted, right, to its pure essences. And then it's just there. Okay. So that's where the lightning came and struck, because feeling that energy is like the spark from divine and reforming the body so that it can actually hold the pure energy. So it doesn't feel like that Jekyll and Hyde. Because how much it feels in the masculine system is that you're present and you can hold it, and then you can hold it, and then it's gone. And then you're in this energy, and then you just have to walk that until you can hold it, you can hold, and then you're gone. And it's kind of like that dance, right? And it's building the strength to do it, because in some ways the legs have atrophied to be able to hold that much energy, right? It's okay. Like this is a mirror from everything. This has had to happen this way. It's continuing in all of this, and it's coming into embodiment, right? And holding the true energy and coming in and having that and really being the true emanation of that. And your presence is key, woven into the love of the love, but in the masculine form. Huge, right? And the lightning strike was of divine. In some ways, it kind of felt like it came from the sun itself. And when it was forming the body, it's just like, there's the new body. There's the new body. There's the true body. But here's the funny thing. So as it was being formed from this, and this is like the deep energies of this. So I'm going to express this so that it becomes aware. However, Don't know if it really needs an action point. What the imagery and the iconography were coming through as was that the feminine voice actually gave life to the body. And when I was looking at it, I was like very confused on how this all works, but it made perfect sense at the same time. And the more I touch into it, the more it does feel like the feminine has no way of knowing, and she can't know what she is doing. Right? There's no intention behind it. In some ways, the walk of the feminine, as I was watching it, was actually coming into her voice, her true voice. And as it was spoken, it was an ignition. So, with the embodiment of the feminine in the physical and the voice spoken into the physical, the masculine had to show up. And in some ways, it was breathed into world. And it was very, very interesting to feel. So, in the deep energies and all the series that we've been doing, like my favorite one was like walking into the garden and stepping on that pure template, because that felt so much in the deep energies. But now we're moving closer and closer and closer and closer and closer into the physical of the day to day in every moment, right? It's what everybody's working on. But it was actually seeing how the two energies are so important in this final step. Feeling it and seeing all the walk it had to go, all the purification, all the different things, and the road was not straight. And then coming into this moment of regaining all that stuff, being burned to nothing, and then having it reform. And then the breath was ignited from the very voice of the feminine. And it was very, very so fun to feel. Because I'm just like, because in some ways it was the speech into the dark. Because there was no sight line on the masculine. There was no knowledge that this would do this. It was simply because she was coming into her embodiment and she reached to be able to speak into the physical. And by doing that, the masculine clicked on. And it was just like, there it is. There's the dance of two, but it's also the divine masculine initiation woven into the earth. Because now you can start to feel the earth, and you're an extension of the land itself. You're an extension of mother, right? Well, mother earth, right? And father son, because it's woven in every single moment. And it really is beautiful to watch and hold and come in. I can't express how fun it is, because it is a regaining of fun. But you know what the difference is in this energy as it comes in stronger and stronger, and you can see it, is that it's no longer the exhaustion to be. That's huge. I've never tasted that within my masculine system before, because the exhaustion to be was always like, I need to do X to Y to do, and then I need to do this just to be, right, of use, in service, plugged into place, a node in the big computer system that is the framework of reality. If I don't do this, I'm not like sustainable for society. If I don't do this, I'm not a good father for my family. It's a lot of that heavy energy that has been on the back. And then on top of that, I also have to be, and that's in itself a big, big energetic presence to hold. But this, tasting this, I don't feel the exhaustion. I don't feel the trials of like the just like how hard it is to be. Because in some ways it's your only option. And it's just it's new. It's the best way I can describe it. It's new. And so, with all this, because this is like deep energy, so in the practical sense, I'm just like, okay, that's great. How does this apply to the practical? Do I have to wait for the feminine to do this and X, Y, and Z? Well, in truth be told, like it's just something to be aware of, but it's also something that neither one can actually look at or see or feel or not. Well, you definitely feel it, but no, right? So, like, you are not waiting for the feminine to voice. It happens in sync in divine timing always. So it's actually watching how the two come into like the two are actually working together, especially in this moment. It's so fun. But the acknowledgement of that felt important for the stage. So, like, that was important for my energy to acknowledge that, just to have it kind of like come in that lightning strike. So, by acknowledging that it was actually breathing and coming into form by the relation of the feminine voice really coming in the physical, or in some ways already has, and then the echoes of those sound waves have finally reached this moment where now I can come into form. It was important for the process, but also realizing that as you continue on this in your masculine energy, seeing that that grace and that pursuit and that warrior energy really comes strong, but it also is like the perfect blend of all of this, and it's reshaping, not reshaping, embodying of what was said to have been destroyed. When that comes back home, it changes things because it like reaffirms what is true never dies. And to become that emanation of that energy really, really is amazing to watch. And the love expressed for the feminine itself, because you're coming into form from the feminine itself, from the mother, right? Divine mother, Mother Earth. So, and you feeling all that kind of run through your system. So then the extensions and in some ways the wars and all that kind of stuff that runs a lot through the masculine system, like you can see that it can't work anymore because you're kind of woven so deeply within that energy. It's amazing. It really, really is. And then gifted from the sun too, like that. A sun walker, as me and my dear friend Mauricio would say. So with this, I give you love in this new age and whatever we walked through and whatever this huge embodiment of everything. This huge 8-8 has been such a gift on so many levels, and this huge birth into being. So I give everybody here a lot of love and to shine bright in this huge adventure as this dance quickens and as the dance between two becomes more and more, especially after this. So with that, Connor, I give you a lot of love. And I give you love. Shine bright.